How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is episode 5 of the Let's Play series on Farming Simulator 22 on the mod map Dredge Creek, Alaska. And where we last left off, we ended up getting to work. We had to go ahead and continue to expand the property, and yeah, we've got our main starting field right here that we've made, and I wanted to expand this grass field out into this area. I want to be able to harvest this, turn it into silage, and be able to get some money off of this part of the property, as well as be able to expand this out and get better yields as time goes on. But we started clearing out all the trees that were here. We're going to clear out this forest over here. We were getting really heavy into work. But that kind of leads us to what we were working on today. On top of all that, we also went to take a look at the entire property, and we found out the lore of Crazy Jimmy, the previous landowner around here. And leads us into what we were working on here today. I still need to continue this, still need to do this, but the problem is that a lot of these trees are tucked way back here. My equipment is not good enough. This little harvester here, the tree harvester here, it's working great. I am absolutely loving it. But there are trees in here that it just will not handle. Like that tree right there, that massive tree there, will not handle it whatsoever. So I made a few calls around the area, and turns out that Mr. Kilcher, the gentleman who I helped out a little while ago cutting his grass fields when his equipment broke, turns out on the backside of his property, I passed by it a few times and noticed it on one of my pass-bys. He's got a nice tree harvester. And I give him a call and it's like, hey, I really need some help here. Is there any chance, we can kind of do, I scratched your back, now you can scratch mine? And he's like, oh yeah, no problem. Absolutely. I'll leash you the equipment. No problem. I've got it on a trailer. You can come by and pick it up. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. I'm going to come by and pick it up. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hop in the truck here, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up that harvester, because that thing will be more than enough to be able to handle everything that I can throw at it here on this property. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and head over to the Kilcher homestead there, and going to go ahead and pick up some equipment. So I'll cut us out here and cut us back in as soon as I make it back with the harvester. See you in a while. Alright, so we're pulling up to the Kilcher homestead right here, as you can see, and tucked away back here, I noticed this a couple of times on my way by, is the harvester here. And this thing is an absolute beast. He said that this is the harvester that he used when he first moved up here, and many years ago cleared out all this property with this thing, and I am really excited. And he basically gave it to me for a steal. Didn't give it to me, but allowed me to lease it off of him. So I'm really excited about this, because this is going to make very quick work of all those massive trees in my local area. Now I'm going to have to be very careful going down the mountain pass here, the hillside, to get to the farm without crashing this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and cut us out here, being extremely careful, because there's some twists and turns along the route. And yeah, be able to get to work as soon as I make it back to the farm, make it back to the homestead. We'll see you over there. Alright, we are approaching the property here. Holy smokes, was that a treacherous trip or what? Let's go ahead and we'll just park the trailer and truck right over here. I think here will be perfect. Lower that down, turn this off. There we go, perfect. Now, oops. Here we go, look at this. Behemoth. This thing is going to make short work. Bam. Look at that. Cut it down like it was butter. Let's see. One thing I want to do real quick. Make sure it's set to 6-meter lengths. And Shazam. Look at that. Like it's nothing. What's nice is because these logs are so large, I'll be able to just go ahead and cut them up into piles and not have to worry about dragging them over each and every time. And even these little, not little, because these are still really good sized trees, but these smaller trees I'll be able to cut up real quick. Look at that. right, so we are back up here. Oh dear, going a little too fast. Back up here at the sawmill. Gonna go ahead and drop off this load, and then I think I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna talk to the owner and see if I can work out a little bit of a deal. I have an idea, and I think it's gonna be kind of a nice little mutually beneficial arrangement for us. So go ahead and sell that off like so. Perfect. Alright, let me go ahead and pull over right here. Just like so. Oops. There we go. I'm going to walk inside here real quick and go go ask some questions. See what I can get worked out. We'll see in a little bit. Alright, so I met with the owner here and got some things worked out. So very, very nice guy. And was very willing to work with me. I had to put down a little bit of money, but I think in the end it's going to be worth it because it's going to make my life a lot easier. So what happened was I've been wanting to try and transport the logs and everything that I'm bringing up here in a different manner. I want to be able to, well, one, actually, now that I'm kind of thinking about it, I need to turn around and go to the shop. The reason I need to go to the shop is because I'm going to transport all this stuff by container. Now, the reason I had to pay so much money was because when I bring the containers to the sawmill here, they're going to go ahead and be responsible for the containers after that point. So they're going to have a place to store them and do all that stuff. So I basically had to pay them like a disposal fee for the containers I bring up to them. So all in all, not a big deal, and I think it's going to be worth every penny of it. But those containers, I got to get up here at the shop and all that stuff. Now, thankfully, I went ahead and called ahead, and the shop was more than willing to accommodate for purchasing and all that stuff. They actually have several containers that they have access to, so they're just going to let me, go ahead and basically put a deposit down on these containers. And then as the processing of the sawmill at the sawmill gets done, it's going to then get returned to the store owner, the shop owner up here, and then my deposit gets reimbursed and all that. It's a lot of steps, but it's going to take a lot of work out of this whole thing here. I'm not going to have to load up this trailer and deal with a bunch of loose logs and potentially tip things over and do the whole 9 yards. It's been a real kind of nightmare, especially in the kind of, whoops, this isn't the shop, especially in the backwoods where I'm at, having to come around and whatnot all the time. It gets very, very tedious to come back and forth up here. So I think that this will be a little bit better of a mechanism to be able to get everything kind of taken care of. So let's go ahead and just sell off this trailer. It's been a very awesome trailer. I love this thing, but I think the containers are going to actually do a little bit better for me. So let's go ahead and repair, repaint, sell. There we go. And now I'm going to head back to the farm. We're going to go ahead and place an order for a container. They'll move the container up to the front here. Once I get back, I'll be able to then load the container onto the trailer that Mr. Kilcher has allowed me to use. And I'll be able to bring the container back up to the farm, be able to load it, do everything I need to do, and then just rinse, lather, repeat, rinse, lather, repeat. So that's what I'm going to do. I will go ahead and head back to the homestead, to the farm. I will be right back. Alright, so I am here at the shop. I need to kind of get myself situated here very, very carefully. Let's see, how am I going to manage this without taking everything out? Ooh, oh, I'm going to have to replace that. Alright, well, let's go ahead and just rip that Band-Aid off. There we go. Let me go pick that up. Sorry. I'll go in there and give them a little bit of money and an apology. So, oh, where am I going? So I will go talk to them real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, so they were more than understanding. Very nice people. They didn't want me to pay for anything. They said that it happens quite often, actually. And they're allowing me to use their loader here, their nice little forklift here. So I'm going to go ahead and utilize this to be able to load that crate onto the trailer. We'll go around this way. Let's go ahead and span that out. Let's see, so need to have this on the back side. Okay. Let's think right here towards the back axle. There. Perfect. Now let's throw around some straps. Perfect. Now it's not going to go nowhere. That'll be perfect. So now we can go ahead and park this again. Then we're going to head back to the farm and go ahead and start loading up some more. There we go. All right. Let's get back to the farm. We'll meet you over there. Alright, so I made it back up here to the homestead. Let's go ahead and get pulled into the yard here. Just like so. I think right about over here will be perfect. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the ramps here. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Going to go ahead and open the container. And then, just kind of a test of concept here, we're going to go grab that big round tree right over here, right in the middle of things. There we go. Let that fall. Bam! Just like that. And now, we'll get spun around like so. All right, so got all that. How long is this piece here? Ooh, that's gonna be close. All right, cool, perfect. Now we're gonna need this. All right. Ooh. Slipped out the grab. Got it that time. Not escaping me this time. go. That one tree. How much did that get this container filled up? About a quarter of the way. That one honkin' massive tree. There we go. Perfect. All right, well, let's go ahead and cut some more down and get this thing full. Let's see. I'm gonna go with this one right here. Whoops. Alright, so I am pulling in here with my first container load. I want to do two things. First off, let's go ahead and turn on that. Nope. That. I want to pull over this. Drop that. But now this, 24,400, almost 25 grand for one trailer. That is amazing. That basically doubles my capacity and my payouts every time I come up here. Ka-ching. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now I need to go back up to the shop, get another container, and then rinse, lather, and repeat. We'll see you back at the homestead. All right, so it is now 8 o'clock in the morning here in Dredge Creek, and holy smokes, it is so dark still, so incredibly dark. I mean, look at this. This is absolutely nuts. just selling off the last little bit there. You can see we are up to $462,000. I mean, we've just been working and working and working all throughout the night. And wow, just wow. I couldn't believe just how dark it got, just how difficult all this work had become just by, doing all this in the dark. I'm hoping that we get at least a little bit of extra sun here soon, but I mean, I'm certainly not expecting it at this point because, whew, this has been rough. But I need to go and head back to the homestead. I mean, all the trees are finally out, but I can't advance anything. I cannot make any more progress at this point because I'm to a point to where I need to be able to plow it out and grind up stumps. Well, I can't see the field edges and I can't find the stumps. So I need to wait until there's some light. And right now, this might be all the light I get for the next few months. So, I mean, like I said, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. This is what 8 a.m. looks like here in Dredge Creek. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. But I'll go ahead and cut us out here. I will, wait and see what kind of lighting we get and kind of go from there. We'll see you in a while. All right, so I'm on my way back from the Kilcher's homestead there, and wow, it was a treacherous trip up the hillside there trying to get to his place there. It was absolutely nuts, but you can see, I mean, it is still incredibly dark. It's starting to lighten up. It's starting to get there, but I mean, who knows if it's going to be, be enough at this point. I mean, even with my tractor with the additional lighting here is really not going to help out much whatsoever. Let's go ahead and fold this up. There we go. And then let's see, somewhere in that direction is my skid steer loader, so let's go and find it. And what I'll do is I'll bring it back over towards the house here, and yeah, we'll continue to wait, see if we get any more light, see if we can actually get some of the work done here in the field. Without that light, I'm not going to get anything done, and we'll have to wait until more and more light comes about. There it is. Back in this direction, we'll pull this over by the house there. Well, we'll drop off the grab. We'll drop off the front grab, and then we'll go pick up the stump grinder, and I guess we'll just park everything and get it ready for, the ability to work. I mean, you can see, look how dark it is. I can't even show you what the field looks like with all the trees cut out. It's that dark. Oof, and that's the other problem, is now I'm finding all the stumps, and I hope I don't damage my equipment. And actually, while I'm heading right past them, I can see my bales kind of glinting in the light. Stop here. 84%. Okay, so that's almost done. That's not quite there. We'll have to wait for that. So let's pull around the back over here, and we'll drop this off right here. There we go. Let's get that stump grinder. It's parked right over by my tractor. Like I said, we'll just have to do like a wait and see approach until we can get some additional light. Yeah, I'm also gonna have to load up the bales there. I'm gonna have to move them out of the way because right now they're in the way of the plowing and all that. So there we go. Okay. So stop here, park there. Might as well just pull this up around here. Did I turn off my lights? Nope. There we go. And let's take the tractor. We'll disconnect from the wood harvester here. We'll switch around the lights. All that. We'll get the weight into the front. And we'll hook up. We'll at least hook up to the... Oh, no. We can't hook up to the cutter. Or to the plow. We need to hook up to the mowers. That's right. We gotta get whatever grass we can off of this first. I don't know what I was thinking there. So about right there for now. I'll see, and this is gonna be made exponentially worse because I have to disconnect from my light. Let's see, how well does that do? That really doesn't add anything, does it? I might have to get a better... Yeah, I might have to get a better light. But that's going to be future Dave's issue. Let's see. Have to squeeze in behind here. All right. So at this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and head inside. Like I said, I'm very much at a standstill. There's nothing I can do without some additional light. So I'll just go inside and hang out with the family for a while and see what we get here. We'll see you in a while. All right. So it is now 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I made some calls earlier today because right after I kind of went off into the house and hung out with the family, I realized all these bales are in the way and I need to kind of shuffle them out of the way to be able to, work on this part of the property. The problem is that my bale loader is a little bit finicky and it is really not fit for purpose anymore. I like it. It works, but you've got to be very, very good with it. And yeah, it's one of those that I need to just think about future growth and future, aspirations here. So I think what I'm going to do is, instead of starting the mowing process right now, like I was planning on doing, I'm going to go up to the store and pick up something that I went ahead and ordered right away. I called them up and said, hey, I need a bale loader. Do you have one? And they do. They have one. They just got one in. Works very well, and I think is going to be a very good addition here. Now, thankfully, they had it. Thankfully, they had one in stock, because this would have been an absolute nightmare. A nightmare to try and deal with. Because look at this. I've got all these bales and they're stacked right next to each other. I would have been bumping them. Some were turned on their side. Just couldn't do it. Could not do it. So now that we finally got some light, we finally got, things that we can be doing back again, let's go ahead and head up there. We'll get the bale loader. We'll load it. And the great thing about this new bale loader too is that it will be bigger. It will have thought I was going to miss that. A larger capacity than this one does. So this one I think holds 8 bales at its max capacity. The other one will hold 24. So what? 3 times bigger capacity than this one. It'll work out much better. Much better. And once we get the other field cut and get everything baled and doing all that stuff, it's going to work out for the better, because we'll be able to just kind of slap it all together, pick it up, and be good to go. We won't have to be bothered or worried going into the future. So yeah, it's one of those. Let's cut in right here. It's one of those that I think at the end of the day is going to be worth the investment. And I mean, with all the wood that I sold here recently, we've got the money to afford it. We're getting ready to sell off some of that silage that we already have been fermenting this whole time. So let's just get ahead of it. Let's just get ahead of it and do it. So I will meet you back up at the shop. Well, actually, I'll meet you back at the homestead once I pick up the equipment. We'll see you there. Alright, I'm back at the homestead, and man, did I get lucky. I got really lucky. They just got this in not too long ago, and they were really being aggressive about selling it. So I am very, very pleased I was able to get lucky enough to snag this thing, because this is going to make the job so much easier. So much easier. Look at this. We're going to be able to slap these things in, lickety split. Oh yeah, look at this. Beautiful. The other one would have been an absolute nightmare. This, on the other hand, is a dream. A dream. Pick up these last little bits, and then we'll move it and get on to our next project. Mowing out this grass and making more silage. $15 total bales. And what's even nicer is when we move these will stack up in a nice, neat little pile. Look at that. It'll be easy enough to grab next time around. Look at that. Perfect. All right. Well, let's go ahead and find this a home and get to work. Let's turn on the rear, turn on the front, and let's boogie. All right, so we got everything mowed here on the property, and it is, wow, looking radically different than what it was beforehand. But when everything's said and done, I think this is going to be a good amount of bales that we're going to be able to produce here, as well as, you know, this is going to be a good size field. When everything's said and done, this is going to be impressive. I mean, take a look around. It's one of those where when everything's said and done, we're going to get quite a bit off of this chunk of property. And yeah, I'm all aboard. I'm happy about this. And you figure as soon as we get all the stumps ground and whatnot, we can then bust out the plow, get our actual field kind of defined and do all that stuff. But I mean, this is essentially the path and the field that I envision to have here. I mean, everywhere where I mowed is basically where I want to create the field, and it's going to be huge. It's going to be really big. I might pick all this stuff up here on this portion of the lot here, and I might just go ahead and just kind of plow, or not plow this out, but mow this out to where it's kind of more, filled in. This is a good little chunk of area here, and it'd make the field just, I guess, a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. And the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm leaning towards doing it. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. But not gonna do it right here, right now, because we are all out of time. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing to show that you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.